Welcome, everybody. It is the Raw Recap with the Drip King, Jimmy Bebe. It's, what is it, week 3 now of the Hunter show. And I think we're getting a very clear idea of how this show is going to be. NXT Black and Gold. yes, 100%. I see it's happening. The groundwork is being laid. We're getting a lot of what we got on Black and Gold, just on a much grander scale. I know that hurts some people's feelings, but boo-hoo, I don't care. Cry to someone else. I'm excited for it. Let's just jump into the show because we had a great moment tonight. So we're just gonna jump into the show. We got a really good show this evening. Yes, it was a really good show. It was a little slow at some points. I won't say this is as great as it has been, but it was still a really good show. There was a fantastic moment, obviously, but again, we'll get to that when we get to that. Show starts off hot, though. Seth and Riddle, they're brawling in the back. They go through the crowd. They end up on the ringside. Security comes. Adam Pearce comes. They break it all apart, and they just brawl. It is very weird to me because this is the segment with Riddle and Rollins. It is very weird to me that for the longest time, Riddle carried this show. You can argue with a wall. I don't care. It's not up for debate. He carried the show with his segments and his matches. Now it's like we're just getting glimpses of him. I hope this is not a sign of things to come for the future because he was right on the edge of just going over that hump and becoming a main event staple. Hopefully, I know he's with Rollins and it's like, what are you talking about, Jimmy? It's just the amount of time he's getting lately is, I'm hoping it's just for the injury's sake, and once the Seth Rollins thing's over with, we get back to the Riddle show because man, I just noticed it tonight. It kind of is like, man, I hate that I don't see more of him because I just loved him so much during again, as David points out here, that he was a workhorse, and now it's like he's getting a break, and it's a much well-deserved break. I just hope it's not a sign of things to come. That's all I'm saying. It's like they planned it all along. NXT became 2.0. Triple H is just like, I got it. Go ahead, take my NXT away from you. I got a plan. He pushed Vince out, and he turned Vince's show into Black and Gold. Probably not what happened, but it is funny. I'm not mad though, because again, I loved it, and I'm liking pretty much. Not pretty much. I'm loving everything I see so far, and I'm excited for where things are going to go 3 months into this vision when you have your established stars at this point. You have your storylines taking place that are continuations and not just kind of like here 1 week and then, we didn't like what happened last week, so let's change it up a little bit. With Tripp, there's going to be some stability with this stuff, and I can't wait to see it in a few months. So after the brawl, they do the fireworks. They do the big entrance for Raw again. It's cool to see. It's refreshing. I miss seeing it from back in the day. We get that. Out comes Trish Stratus. She gets her little pop. Toronto's hometown hero. She comes out. She's interrupted by Bayley, of course. Io and Dakota. They come out. What are you even doing here, Trish? We are the now. You are the past. Be gone. Then Bianca comes out, says you need to respect Trish. She walked so you could run. You're not in the same stratosphere, blah, blah, blah. Then Trish says, I can go from retired to not retired real quick. She gets ready to fight. Bayley's like, 3-on-2. I like our odds. Then out comes Alexa and Asuka, obviously. And then the numbers are no longer in their favor. But Bayley, being the sweetheart that she is, says, I'm going to go ahead and save y'all tonight, and we're going to leave. Because Bayley would have just dumped on all 4 of them on her lonesome while Io and Dakota just watched on, just like, yep, that's our girl. But yeah, so from there, we just go right into the tag team tournament match for the night, which is awesome. The flow right there, it's great. So we go into Alexa, Asuka versus Io and Dakota. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Maybe people won't agree because of the main event they had. I think this was the match of the night. I really enjoyed it. I think it's cool to see these women get time, much more time to get their shit in. And they looked good doing it tonight. I loved this match. It was a great way to open the show. I like that Bailey and the women's division is like the focal point right now because the women's division on Raw is like phenomenal. It's loaded with talent, and I love seeing it. This might be just cycled out for a little bit to give him the new old guy. Yeah, absolutely for Riddle. I see that happening. Again, it's really just hope because it's like, man, it's been a while since we got a Riddle show, and it's like, don't take him from me. Don't take him from me. Opening talk segment fell a tad flat. I'm not real big on. I like the Bailey stuff. Bianca, I'm not. I don't want to talk crap on Bianca because again, I think she's probably the best baby face they have now. I just get bored with her sometimes. She's not in when she's wrestling, awesome. When she's got a mic in her hands, like she's very iffy for me. Cue the Trish versus Bianca at Saudi Train. Trish versus Bianca, really? I see Trish versus Bailey. Why would you do Trish versus Bianca? Tidy ready, and I have to know. Oh, you're gonna know something, man. I hate to spoil it for you, but I'm going to if you stay in here, man. If done right, Asuka versus Io could be the laser point. I think that's going to be amazing when they finally let them girls go at it. And then Alexa versus Dakota could be fun feud. They should explore that. And another thing to point out here, Alexa never really gets her credit for growing as a competitor. She is in no way like top when we talk about the best women wrestlers in the world. She is very good though. From where she started to where she's at now, she's good. And I liked that she was in the ring with Asuka, Dakota, and Io tonight, and she was holding her own. I can't give her enough credit for that. Good on Alexa. Glad to see it happen. And again, I love this match. I thought match of the night for me, and that's the first match of the night. So that's a sign of the show to come, in my opinion. That's you start off hot. The rest of the show should follow suit. From there, we go to the backstage, and you got Dolph Ziggler being interviewed, and he's talking about theory. He says he's arrogant, and he has all these tools, and I just wish I could help him. In comes Finn Balor, says you don't want to help him. You're just like all these other old-timers. You're just trying to latch on to the young talent to make yourself relevant. Dolph says, I got something for you. Smacks Finn. Finn falls to the ground. Then he goes to go out to the thing. His music hits, so he's walking out the ring. Then he comes back and says, hey, you going to get up? You going to come out to the ring, little bitch? They got a match next. So that was, again, flow. It's so cool. So they go to commercial, come back. Dolph Ziggler, Finn Balor. I don't need to sell you on this match. It was really good. It might have been, hey, the Drip King. Drip King saying the women folk need to stay. No. One of them, yes. Not all of them. Not all of them at all. I was just talking about how badass Bailey is when it comes to she's awesome at it. So not the lady. Short, effective backstage. Yes, very short, very effective. So Dolphin Finn match, awesome, loved it, very good stuff. Two matches back to back that are just like, okay, this is. If you are not a fan of watching like this kind of wrestling, I'm sorry to tell you, there's no room in wrestling for you anymore because that's what WWE is going to do. All the other promotions are doing it. And now WWE is finally like, Triple H is like, yep, we're going to do that too, along with the entertainment aspect. We're going to get rid of, and that's what's happening. So if you miss what we were seeing months ago, sorry, you're going to have to evolve or find a new hobby. Because again, 2 matches back to back, that was not happening months ago. You weren't getting it was, and if it did happen, it was so rare. The matches were just really, really good. Come on now. The clicker is not working for me again. Here we go. Dolph attaches himself to younger up-and-coming talent Bobby Roode 47. Talking about trying to attach himself to Theory, man. Come on, pay attention. Pay attention, David. You better than that, man. Excellent match with Finn and Dolph. Finally, both wrestlers presented they should always been. Yes. And like I said, when Finn took over for Judgment Day, I think it could help catapult him into a position to be main event level with Trips in charge, and now Rhea back, and now the Judgment Day kind of gaining some steam. It's right around the corner. I guarantee it's right around the corner for Finn. He's going to be going for the whatever title comes to Raw. Finn Balor will be a player for that title. So at the end of this match, Rhea gets involved. Ref was distracted, and Rhea comes in. She hits Dolph Ziggler, and then Finn hits the coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. He picks up the win, and that's that. From there, we go to backstage. Aaliyah is being interviewed, and she gets interrupted by Bailey, Dakota, and Io. And they said, "What are you doing here? Where's your tag team partner?" Oh, she didn't get back, so she's not allowed to Canada. That's not a fact. I don't know. I'm just assuming because that's what happened with Nikita. But whatever is what it is. Aaliyah then ends up challenging Bailey. Trish Stratus comes in. She's not alone, and then that's the whole segment. It's just to set up Bailey versus Aaliyah. So we're getting Bailey wrestling on Raw. Thank you. Looking forward to that. Very, very excited about that. From there, they transition over to Adam Pearce. He's talking to some security guards. They're going over a clipboard, and they start walking off. Transition, flow, awesome. I'm going to always point it out because I just love it so much. It adds to the show the little things, as I always point out. The little things matter. From there, Alpha Academy comes out. He said he's looking for students. Not going to find any in Canada. Then he starts running down Canada. I think we know what's about to happen now. He opens up an issues an open challenge to anybody that wants to come out. I don't care if they're a fighter, whatever, Canadian, whatever. Bring them out. Out comes Kevin Owens. Pop. Canada loves the man. I will say Sammy got a bigger one, but Montreal might be a better crowd. I don't know. Just pointing that out there. Kevin Owens comes down. Him and Gable have a decent match. There was nothing special, but it wasn't bad. It was a good match. We get the pop-up power bomb for the finisher back. That's what Kevin Owens do. He tried to stun her, but it was the pop-up power bomb that won it. So, thank you. Looking forward to that again. After the match, Otis tries to attack. He escapes that. Then he goes to power bomb. Gable on the apron. He's like, I'm gonna do this man too. Otis saves him. They go in the ring. He ends up stunning Otis though, and then he power bombs Gable on top of Otis, and then walks off. Prize fighter, stands tall. That's what Kevin Owens do. He's the man. Looking forward to what he's going into. People say he might be going babyface. I don't see it. It's the Bret Hart effect. He's a heel everywhere except for Canada. Canada's never going to boo this man. They love him, just like Zayn. They love him. Skill set was not good, but the match was excellent. But he's been losing for months. What a shame. But you need talent like that. They are really good wrestlers. They can help other people and have great matches with other people and still be effective. He's entertaining. I know it's not your thing, but he's still entertaining. He's very entertaining. And you got to have people like that that can just put on the good matches and give people like Kevin Owens clean victories. And that's 3 matches. No, I guess the Finn one wasn't. So I'll stop myself right there on that one. Gable has the talent to be a top wrestler for any year. I'm not going to deny his talent. I'm just going to, I don't know. The rosters are so stacked with like top level talent. And that's not a knock on Gable. It's just a matter of the whole package. And how does he stack up against some of these other guys? Mid card, that's gay. I think that's Gable's ceiling. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I think we'll get there eventually. But right now, he's in the Alpha Academy stuff. It's entertaining. And then they just got to transition away from it. Eventually, it'll happen. I have no doubt about that. We'll see. We'll see where it goes from there. After that, Judgment Day in the back. And they're just talking about Ray. He's not there. They're going to take out Edge. They're done with that. And then he's the last one standing. So they're going to take him out. And that's that. Very simple, very short. That's it. This is the NXT Owens Ring of Honor Steve. Yeah, and he don't need friends. He don't care about babyface. He don't care about heel. He's out there to just beat people up, and thank you. That's what I want to see from Kevin Owens. Next up, the Bayley versus Aaliyah match. All I'm going to say here is Bayley should be commended for the job she did in this match. The Aaliyah project is done. It's done. I don't know how long she's been there. She has not improved at all. The match should have been way sloppier than it was. I think Bayley saved a lot of things, made it look a little bit better than it really was. This was probably the worst part of the show to me, and I hate that for Bayley. It's her first match back on TV. It's her first match in forever on TV with a crowd, and this is what they gave her. I feel kind of bad for her. It wasn't horrible, but again, I think Bayley saved so much of it with just how good she is. But again, the Aaliyah, it's done. I don't sit here and talk about people should be losing their jobs or anything like that, but she hasn't evolved. She has not gotten better, so you got to do something with her. You got to do something for her. You got to do, because it ain't working. Just ain't working. I was surprised when they called up the main roster, and now I'm like, Maybe I was like, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe she turned a corner and nope. It's still the same Aaliyah that we've been seeing for years, and she just hasn't gotten better. It's nice to see Bailey back in the ring, and Aaliyah still needs lots of work. And at this point, it's one of those things like, how much work can you do with her? Because they've been working with her forever, and nothing's happened. Nice attention to detail from Owens with the cauliflower. Yeah, you grabbed Gable by this cauliflower. He's yelling, "How about the cauliflower?" Yeah, it was funny. Oh no, for Aaliyah. Yeah. Aaliyah got fed to Bailey, man. That's what happened. Again, the match wasn't horrible, but man, it wasn't good either. There was a lot of sloppiness to it. Moving on from that, go to backstage. Bobby and AJ Styles backstage walking. Okay, they're a tag team tonight. Okay, obviously they're taking on Miz and Ciampa. Then they show Miz and Ciampa. Okay, makes sense. I'm okay with it. It makes seem like a random match, but things have progressed to where they're at now. All good for it. Interesting thing here, because I'm paying attention to the backstage segments a lot more than I used to. There was an amp in the background with Adam Pearce and those security guards that were looking for something earlier. It was smoking, it was on fire, and they were checking it out and they were doing some investigations. So, with that, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So, I know the way they've positioned the show, the Dexter Lumis segments with the other things that are happening in the back. The way they've positioned it is that Dexter Lumis has something to do with those things. But at this point, I'm looking at Dexter Lumis is in the crowd. He's always in the crowd. He's a fan. He's got a ticket, I'm assuming, and that's how he is. So I don't think he's in the backstage doing this stuff anymore. I think this is someone completely different. Cue the Bray Wyatt rumor mill, whatever you want to do it, something to do with him. But I officially no longer think that has anything to do with Dexter Lumis. It just doesn't really make sense if you think about the fact that he's always in the crowd, but all the stuff is happening in the backstage. If he is just a fan with a ticket, how is he getting backstage to do that stuff? Doesn't make sense. So Dexter and the backstage stuff, no longer. I don't think they coincide with each other at all. She's OMG, OMFG. My favorite show. Yeah, what's he talking about? Dave's here every week. He ain't come back. He's always here. Says Dexter has friends, but as to who, I have no idea. And I'll touch that in just a second. So we get the AJ versus Bobby, AJ and Bobby versus Miz and Ciampa match. Decent match. I liked it for what it was. During this match, you saw AJ in the corner, and then a dude in a hoodie jump up and grab AJ. AJ fought free. Security came and grabbed the guy, and you're like, okay, Dexter, you failed again. Pulled the hood off. It's not Dexter. So they start pulling away. I don't think it's anybody. I screenshotted. I looked. I did the investigation. I did my job. I don't think it was anybody. I think it was just a decoy used by Dexter Lumis because he kept getting jumped by security. He gets a decoy that he does that. That way he's free to do what he wants to do. And that's exactly what happened. Because after security took that guy, Miz is in the other corner. Lumis comes up. Sorry about that. And he's got a motorcycle helmet on, takes it off, reveals it's Dexter. He grabs Miz, takes him over the rail, ring the bell, disqualification. It works here, though, because you're doing a storyline with Miz and Dexter Lumis. We all thought it was AJ for a little bit, but it's shifted over to Miz. Makes sense to me. I'm okay with it. Miz was always there as well. And then he just takes him. He just leaves with Miz. And then for whatever reason, instead of running away like Ciampa should have, he decided to try and fight back. And then AJ and Bobby Lashley just destroyed the man and left him in the ring. And that's a segment. So, lot to unravel there with the segment and the match. Dexter is after Miz, which is odd because if he's a stalker and he's kidnapping people, how do you present him as a babyface? Because Miz is clearly a heel here. Very interesting. But we saw him do this with Theory in NXT, so we'll see. Also, backstage stuff. I hate putting any eggs in this basket because I've just been waiting and hoping and thinking it's going to happen for so long, but I really do feel like this has Bray's fingerprints all over it. How and why, I do not know. I will let them do that. If I'm wrong, shame on me. But I just have this gut feeling at this point that it has to do with Bray. It went on a tad long. It did, but again, for what it was, like I said, for what it was, I enjoyed it. It was really just to help steer a story and push it forward some. That's what I feel like this match was for. I feel like the Ciampa and Miz thing is going to be ending soon, especially since Ciampa got his ass whooped and Miz got that. So that's what I think we'll see going forward. It's interesting though because there's a lot to unravel with it. So we'll see. After this, go to commercial break. We come back, and before I even talk about it, I'm gonna say, just like I said with Kenny Omega's return on Dynamite, how I felt it didn't seem like a big deal. It was a big deal. Kenny Omega came back. It just wasn't presented like a big deal. It's like, okay, he's back. He's in this match. That's it. Okay. So with this, I'll put it up. Johnny freaking Wrestling is back. Yes, that's right. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. Love it. Love it. I was legit shocked, which with returns and stuff hardly ever happens anymore. But we've gotten two of them in the past month now with Karrion Kross and now Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, whatever you want to call them, DIY reunion. Please give me a DIY reunion. But he just came out in the middle of a show and cut a promo. It just, yep, Ty, I told you, man, if you didn't want to be spoiled, I told you there was a big spoiler tonight, and I didn't want to ruin it for you, but you stayed in, so it's all yours. Yes. So it was flat to me. It didn't really, if you're bringing him back, why do it like this? That's my thing. Start the show off this way. Start the show off with Johnny Gargano coming out. That's how I would have placed it tonight, but they didn't. It is what it is. Comes out, says, glad to be back. I also point at this. Last week they were in Cleveland, his hometown. So to push it off till this week, odd. But at the same time, people kind of expect him to show up last week. He didn't. So now this week it's like, oh, it's actually a really shock. Johnny with a nice history lesson. Absolutely goosebumps. Yeah, I really started like, I'm not saying, I welled up a little bit. I was like, damn, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, how did we not know this? How did no one spoil this? So it was awesome. I loved it. So he comes out, he cuts a promo, and he's talking about he's glad to be back. Just the typical I'm back stuff. He starts talking about NXT a little bit. He lets people know, like, if you don't know who I am, I'm Johnny Gargano. He runs down all the stuff he accomplished in NXT. He should have been telling him he was the heart and soul because he damn well was. But anyway, in comes, yep, Sap didn't even know, which again, I wouldn't know anyway. I don't get to see what Sap says. But yeah, I nobody said anything, so I loved it. So Theory comes out and he basically lets be known. Gargano was talking about he wants to be Intercontinental Champion. He wants to wrestle WrestleMania. Also, Theory says, I'm the youngest United States champion of all time. I've already wrestled at WrestleMania, so maybe now I'm the veteran, and you can carry my bags. And you haven't got to carry my bags. You can carry this briefcase and hand it in when I win the WWE Championship. Johnny Gargano's like, he's happy for him. He goes, let's do the high five for old time's sake. And he sticks his hand out for the high five. He goes, hit me, Johnny. Hit me, Johnny. And then Johnny Gargano, I'm glad he's back. Love Johnny. I'm so excited to see what this man's about to do with the talent that is on Raw and SmackDown. I'm so excited for it. But he kicked my boy Theory right in the chin, and that's a no-go. I can't wait for Theory to drop him on his head. That's what I'll say about that. I just made some enemies. I don't care. I know you're all excited to be seeing Johnny Gargano back. That was uncalled for. You don't do that to Theory. You don't do that to Theory. Let's see. Johnny kicking Theory in the head. Match for the briefcase set up for a bat. Don't even put that into the universe. That's Theory's briefcase. It doesn't belong to anybody else. Not gonna lie, freaked out. And I was talking to homie regular schedule Josh, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, man, I'm off the walls. I was just literally shocked. I just like was late. I was sitting there watching corner of the couch, just yep. And then the music, Rebel Heart plays, Gargano's name goes across. And I was like, what? And I just sat. I was like, what? This is wild. Just wish it was at the beginning of the show. The placement was not very smart, in my opinion. This didn't come across as big a deal as it really is. See T-Bar and Shelton team against Cedric and Ali from those tag teams, low key. I'm not a fan of T-Bar and Shelton. I want T-Bar just as Dijakovic, and that's what I want T-Bar to be. Well, we'll see. I'm not mad. Build the tag team division up. It definitely freaking needs it. But so yeah, that's the big thing from tonight. Johnny Gargano. Glad he's back. Mad that he kicked Theory. Can't wait to see what he does though. DIY reunion, please and thank you. I want it, and I want it now. Now it's time for the main. Don't tease me with that. Don't tease me with DIY versus the Usos. DIY versus the Street Prop. Don't even. This. That's a low key one that nobody's talking about with the Creed brothers. They're going to be a fantastic tag team on that main roster. They're already a good tag team, but on the main roster, it would be so fantastic. Give me that too. DIY versus all. Oh God, please, just give me DIY. And I don't even. I'm over the New Day, but at the same time, if I got DIY, give me DIY versus the Usos too. Give it to me. 2 out of 3. I don't care. Give me that match. If I'm going to get one more New Day tag team, if I could have one last New Day tag team match, I want to be against DIY. Sammy and Kevin versus the Usos. We'll see. Because again, everyone thinks Kevin's doing the babyface turn and everything, and Sammy definitely is doing a babyface turn soon. I don't know if Kevin is doing it too. And then Sammy and if that happens, I want it to happen. I would love for it to happen, obviously. I just don't know if they're doing it yet. So, again, now we're back to the main event. It's Edge versus Damian Priest. It's a good match. It was a good main event. I don't know. There was something missing with this match. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It was just something. I don't know what it was. I wish I knew. It was a good match. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't great. It was just good. There was a couple spots in it though. It was cool. You got the Outsider's Edge. That's all I'm ever call. I don't care if you can call it Razor's Edge too. I don't know what Priest calls it. I'm calling it the Outsider's Edge. He hit that on Edge, the Outsider's Edge on Edge through the announcer's table again, like he did when they kicked him out. So that was there. Then later on in the match, he hits the Unprettier on Edge. Nice nod to that. That was cool. And it doesn't matter who it is. DIY. Yeah, that's going to be freaking amazing. Edge is a much better face at this stage of his career. Yes, absolutely. I agree. His heel work wasn't working. The fans are just too excited, and they know his time is coming to an end, so they're wanting to see him. Babyface works 10 times, 100 times better. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it's just Edge and Priest I just don't care about. I don't know. I just, whatever. But after the Unprettier on Edge, he gets a 2 count. Then somehow Lil Nate takes a bump, the ref, if you don't know. And then that's when shit just kind of goes crazy. See, what's he get? Sorry, I'm missing. Priest goes out. He immediately, as soon as the ref's done, he immediately goes out to the ringside, grabs, 2 chairs, goes to the concerto. Edge moves. Says, "Not today, sucker." Kicks him, takes the chair, breaks the piece off like he used to do when he was feuding with Roman, grabs that chair, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a leg. It's not a leg, but you know what it is. Puts it in his mouth, starts doing the crossface on Priest, lets go of it, goes in the corner for a spear, runs in for the spear. Priest takes that piece that he was getting choked with and smacks him over the head with it, goes for the pin. Lil Nate, referee, comes back in the ring, go 1, 2. Oh, it's a kick out. I tricked you. It wasn't the end of the match. So after that, I got to point out this too, that the vicious powerbomb from Edge on the barricade on the outside to Priest, that one looked like it hurt. You ain't doing it to me because I'm not getting out of bed for a month. It looked like it hurt. Let's see. Nice cover by Graves on Edge getting chokeslammed into the ropes with a neck reference. Yes, that looked vicious too, and he was kind of scraped up from it too. He chokeslammed him, but he didn't do it on the apron. He did it into the ropes. It was different, so I like that. So after the crossface and after Priest hits him with the thing, gets the near fall, then he goes for the Outsider's Edge again. That's what it was. Sorry, I brain fart. Goes for Outsider's Edge again. Edge breaks free this time, and then somehow, some way, don't remember exactly how we get there, but he spears Priest. 1, 2, 3. Edge wins. Should win. Good call. Now we can go on to Edge and Finn Balor at Clash of the Castle, which should be a much better match. Not to knock on Priest. I actually like Priest. I don't know. There was just something missing with this match. After the match, Edge immediately goes outside, gets those chairs again. He tries to go to concerto on Priest. Here comes Rhea Ripley to the crowd, and she goes, "Not today, sucker!" Low blow on Edge. And then there's Finn Balor. I don't even know where he came from. He hits the coup de grace onto Edge, and then they go for the concerto on him. Beth Phoenix, she was ringside for this match. She comes in the ring, grabs a chair, and holds them off at bay. Rhea, she's wanting to get her hands on Beth so she can rip her head off and spike it into the ground and then toss her into the crowd, because I don't want to see a Rhea versus Beth match, but I'm sure that's what's going to happen at Clash. And then that's how the show ended, with basically Judgment Day backing down with Beth Phoenix swinging a chair and Edge getting to his feet. So it's a good show. Again, if I'm comparing it to the last 2 weeks, little bit lower on. I would say last 2 weeks are A shows to me. I would say this is like a B plus. It is still a really good show. Just the Johnny Gargano thing was nice, and let's see, yes, the kill switch, unprettier. I think that's what. Yeah, they called it the unprettier, but yeah, the kill switch. And then there was a Canadian destroyer. That's what led to the spear. Thank you very much. I remember there was a Canadian destroyer. I don't remember where it was, but that's where it was. It was a flat one too. It wasn't off the top rope, so I like those a lot better than the top rope ones. Too much setup for top rope. You heard me right. That's right. I'm criticizing something that Adam Cole Bebe does. It'll never happen again though. So no, I don't want to see this Edge, Dolph, Beth versus Finn. I don't want to see that one either. I think you do Finn versus Edge and then Beth versus Rhea. If anything, Finn and Rhea versus Edge and Beth. I don't even like that though. I'd rather them be singles matches. If we're getting Beth in our match, do singles matches, but we shall see. A lot to unravel there, like I said though, because I hate to even bring up Bray's name here, but I'm really just getting those vibes. I really am just getting those vibes. I don't know why. I just am. The Dexter Lumis thing, we now know exactly who he's going for. So that's now unraveling into the story that it will become. That's good. Just good wrestling on tonight's show, except for Bayley and Aaliyah, but I won't. I'll leave that where it is. And KO. The KO thing is Bray is coming. Yeah, I really do feel like it at this point. I just do. I can't wait to see the characters, because if all this stuff is happening, I don't see the Fiend being a part of that. Possibly the Eater of Worlds, but we'll see. I think Bray comes back with something new if he's coming back, which I do think he's coming back at this point. And I'm excited. Like, there's literally so much to be excited about right now. Not with just WWE, though. Wrestling in general. I'm just so excited for everything that's happening right now. When WWE is better, I think everything's just better. I think it makes other people step up their game. Like, okay, if they're doing things, we need to do things, and that's what it is. If it's Wyndham, they'll slow play it. Clash. You make a big splash at Clash. Hey, that rhymed. I didn't even mean to do that. But you have Bray show up. I don't know at the end. I don't know. You got Karrion Kross. Then there's just so much possibilities right now. It's so good. I think he could fix it though. As I pointed out, as I pointed out on the podcast yesterday, I think if you didn't feature him so heavily, you just gave him in spurts, I think the Fiend could be repaired, because Bray, Wyndham, whatever you want to call him, is just, he's a genius. He is a literal genius when it comes to character work and storytelling. So I think he could fix it, but I just don't think it fits with what I'm seeing backstage. I don't think it works. Got a pay-per-view every month, so they don't have to rush. I just think Clash if Clash is the big deal they want it to be, they're gonna want to do something big to like really say, boom, this is a major event. Then you got Saudi after that too, which you want to, boom, this is a big event. So there's a lot coming up. It's going to be crazy. The next few months of WWE, I think, are going to be just absolutely wild. Do not miss the shows. That's what I'll say. I just say do not miss it, because I think there's just going to be too much awesome things happening. You got Miz missing. Yep. Hopefully he won't be on Raw next week. We don't have to listen to Miz just do his thing because I don't know. I'm so off and on that, man. I'm like, one week I'm like, I love the Miz, and the next week I'm like, man, get him off my TV. I don't know what it is. He just needs to go away for a while. We need to miss him. We need to miss him. And then Muscle Man dance out of left field. Yeah, give me the Muscle Man dance. Dolph Ziggler to clash. And I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, I don't think it's happening. There'll be enough going on at Clash if Roman drops a belt. Big if there. We shall see. So yeah, that's the show. All of it. Just watch all of it. You can skip the Bayley versus Aaliyah match and the segment that led to it. Everything else, I think, is worth your time. That's what I'll say. I'm just excited. Johnny Gargano's back. That's just wild to me. I'm still shooketh on this. Still shooketh. And just wrestling right now is just so good. I know I'm not coming across as cheerful and crazy excited and all, but I really am just like, I'm so excited for wrestling. It's just so good. This is the 5th show in a row I've watched sixth set. I'll say 7th show in a row now that I've watched where I'm just like, I couldn't have gone without watching this show. I loved it. So with that, I'm rambling at this point. So it's time for the plugs, baby. Drip King of Wrestling, the YouTube channel. Me and my main man Tidy right here with the Muscle Man out of left field dance. We just dropped our first Positively Awesome Wrestling podcast on the Drip King of Wrestling YouTube channel. So go check it out. We talk about all of the best things in wrestling that we enjoyed. And then I also break down some stuff that he don't know about to get his opinion on it. It's good stuff. Definitely check it out. Also, Buddy Wars from Wrestle Buddies today. Make sure you go check that out. Maddie Versailles. They rebooked to December to remember. The horrible pay-per-view. They rebooked it and they did a much better job. So make sure you go check that out and then make sure you vote on the Wrestle Buddy page who did a better job so that they can go on to the second round and get slapped by the Drip King yours truly in the second round, because that's definitely what's going to happen. They drew the bad straw here. They got to face me next round. So pick the loser of the second round, but watch the show because they did book it very, very well. I like both of them. It's going to be hard to choose between the two. Dynamite recap. I'll be back Wednesday night for that. Obviously, Positively Awesome podcast. I'll be back with another one next week with Tidy. So that'll be awesome. A lot of stuff to be excited about. A lot of wrestling to be excited about. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. I love it. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Great show. Great people. Great recap. So with that, hold on. What we got here? Yeah. And I didn't even get to watch it all. That's because I can't watch it all. I wish I had more time to watch more because that's how good wrestling is right now. And then we got Johnny Wrestling Now, the year of Tidy. Yeah, the begun. What you talking about? The year of Tidy continues to just go crazy. Everything is coming to fruition for this man. He is so happy. All this stuff is good for him. And then I'm still shook about it. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's wild. I wore the Johnny shirt, man. I'm excited, but I'm just shooketh. But yeah, I'm rambling again, so I'm leaving now. Thank you guys for joining me. And now this is where we do the outro. Boom.